On this edition of Phoenix News, we will be focusing on eSports, diesel tech, and a look back in time when SOI started at the Jones Center.
Welcome to this edition of Phoenix News. I'm Sydney Osoris.
And I'm Brian Polari. In 2014, Dr. Rollins and Mrs. Solcombe knew that there had to be a new way of learning, rather than the traditional classroom.
It all began in the Jones Center with morning gatherings in a small cafeteria. They wanted to create an alternative for the students in the Springdale School District and all of Northwest Arkansas.
We still have teachers in our school that have been with us from the very beginning. A group of students from Phoenix News decided to go take a look back at SOI's past.
Let's take a trip down memory lane and see what they have to say about the story of our school and how it has changed and grown.
We opened in 2014. I was hired on the first year. The idea came from just understanding and knowing that we needed to do school different and give students opportunities to learn in a way that made sense to them. So the idea started with Dr. Rollins, and Miss Slocum was involved, and they started preparing the vision and the strategies to make that vision come true.
My name is Cindy Lyons, and I am a teacher here at Don Tyson School of Innovation. I like that we have the open concept classrooms because I feel like it helps with the camaraderie of the teachers. I don't feel like I'm just an island.
How's the building changed? We went from a small little rent off of the part of the Jones Center, and we now have this really huge complex of a building. We are much more liberty of moving around. We have all these open space, and we're still buying land at the moment. And when it comes to the Jones Center, it's much better.
You know, teaching with no other teachers around. In the past, I've taught in a classroom, and when you close the door, you're kind of like an island. You're all by yourself, and so I like that part of it. I'm getting to teach something that I have a love for, which is the personal finance and teaching kids about things that like taxes and buying a home and those kind of things. Well, I like that there's so many more opportunities here, so you can get from a regular diploma to an associate's degree. We have lots of NWTI classes. We are basically pushing careers and then what could come from those careers, but also the different avenues that happen out of those careers. For example, do I need college? Do I need do I need a career technical? Can I go straight to the workforce and learn from the workforce? So I like that there's those opportunities.
I'm an instructional facilitator, and I also work with the library media program here. It's changed a lot. It's grown, for one thing. It was just in 8th grade when I started. We had 1 grade, and it was 8th graders, about 200 students at the beginning at the Jones Center. And now we are 6th through 12th grade. I have memories of the Jones Center. The eating in the Jones Center Cafe was our cafeteria, and we gathered every morning as a whole group for Dr. Rollins, then Mr. Joe Rollins, to make morning announcements, and teachers were all gathered as well. And so those are some of my best memories of the Jones Center.
The Jones Center has changed very dramatically. Back then, we only had a couple of classrooms, and all of them were just tightly fit. And after we got our building, we were able to expand, get more classes, have more freedom, and just basically everything improved since then.
It's awesome to see where we started and how the vision has stayed the same.
Not everyone is cut out for traditional classroom settings. However, with the new learning accommodations that SOI offer to their students, learning has become a lot easier.
From the Jones Center to now, the school has expanded the number of grades available and space available.
Stay tuned. At the end of our show, we will be highlighting where SOI is headed for the future.
Sydney, how many sports do you think that DTSOI has?
1, 2, 24, I don't know.
Not quite. We don't have a lot in terms of traditional sports, but we do have one very special type of sport. It's AAA sanctioned and played on the state level. Here's a quick look at this new type of competitive sport.
So eSports is competitive video games, basically. My name is Mr. Sniff. I run, well, first of all, I teach 6th grade English language arts, and I run the Play versus eSports program, and also a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu club. Well, for one, it can be played anywhere as long as you have an internet connection and the right systems to run the game. You can set up anywhere and play anywhere. 2, it provides an opportunity for maybe there's some students that for health reasons or physical ability, they're not able to play traditional sports. So this still gives them the opportunity to collaborate, learn problem solving, play with a team. Gives them all the opportunities that normal sports would give them, but in a different kind of venue.
I've been involved for about 2 years now. I've played 2 seasons so far, one last year and the first one this year. During those 2 seasons, we have a little training period that we have. We'll scrim against each other on Tuesdays and Thursdays after school from 4 to 6. And then after that, when the preseason starts, we'll start scrimming against other schools around the state.
Look at the numbers and look at across the nation how it's grown in the past few years. If you look at the last big League of Legends tournament, basically doubled Super Bowl's numbers. So I mean, numbers don't lie, you know, that's active viewers watching the games. And so there's also collegiate programs, there's scholarship opportunities, a lot of opportunities for people in leadership roles, broadcasting. I mean, to me, the sky's the limit. So for naysayers, I say just do a little bit of research and you'll see all the benefits that are out there.
You know, if you enjoy video games and maybe you've got a competitive spirit and you're willing to stay after school to play these games, yeah, I'd recommend it. It's a lot of fun with it. You're going to have way more fun if that's what you're aiming for instead of constantly winning.
I'm certainly enlightened to the presence of this new type of sport offered here at SOI. What this piece did not highlight is that SOI also offers a national level of esports competition league.
For more information about this league, please contact Miss Eaton. We hope to highlight this portion of the esports in the near future. In the past, schools used to offer auto mechanics as an elective for students to take. Unfortunately, over the course of several decades, the emphasis on auto mechanic classes has diminished in importance.
Luckily, here at SOI, students are given the opportunity to take advantage of the diesel class taught by NWTI teacher Mr. Olson, and is one of the more unique classes here at SOI.
Now let's take a quick look under the hood of the DTSOI diesel class.
So my name is Chip Olson and I am the diesel technology teacher here. I work for Northwest Technical, and so it's a joint program between the two. This will be full-time teaching my 6th year.
If you're a visual person or like a hands-on person where someone has to do it before you or show you how to do it and then you do it, he was open for that. He would let you do that. He'd let you learn how you wanted to learn.
You know, being a career technician, I'd kind of gotten to the peak, the pinnacle, what I thought. And I was very much a troubled student. But what really made the difference for me, honestly, was I had vocational teachers that actually cared and they actually put effort into what I was doing.
He goes through and he helps you, like he gauges what you do know about each topic, then he expands your knowledge and lets you learn what you want to learn. And you can actually bring your own vehicle in, and we can do inspections and you can fix your own vehicle in the class.
You know, I know this is diesel technology, but really this is somewhat transportation technology. There's such a wide range. I mean, honestly, everything from aircraft all the way to, you know, like we say, Prius to Peterbilt. There's so many of these technologies that are shared.
It's amazing, like being able to be with all your friends as you get to grow. But just prepare yourself, because those 3 hours you're in there, they're hardcore. They're not easy. Have pens, have pencils, get ready to go to class. I mean, do what you got to do to wake up in the morning or after lunch, depending on when you're taking the class.
Basically, our intent in a nutshell is that you come and spend a year with us, and you're going to leave here and go straight into the career field. That manufacturer is going to pick up your training where we left off and continue to train you at their expense and not yours.
I plan on probably not going into commercial vehicles like heavy trucks and stuff, but to more go into the consumer sect. So just local dealerships and things like that where a diesel knowledge could be helpful.
The class really opens your eyes to what you're doing. So on weekends, I actually help my friends work on their vehicles. I've replaced fuel pumps and stuff, things that I didn't know before the class. And after I took the class, I knew that it would help me.
When the students get that aha moment, you see how they react when things start to take shape. You know, the ideas really kind of solidify in their mind. You can literally just see a student's demeanor change when that happens, and that's kind of a magical thing.
The diesel class is currently being developed into a 2-year course that gives students a more in-depth hands-on learning environment.
Very interesting class and truly something unique for all students here at SOI.
Agriculture is a very important puzzle piece of the future of farming.
Growing plants of any kind takes up a lot of space and resources. Conventional farming methods use land, dirt, and sunlight to grow plants. However, a freight farm uses technology in a manner to accomplish the same exact thing.
Climate change and unreliable weather could have a negative effect on agriculture. Thanks to hydroponic growing facilities, this could change.
As you may or may not know, SOI has its very own sustainable agricultural program called the Freight Farm, and that is run by students and faculty. Let's take a further look.
It is currently January 16th. The grass is dead. There's no leaves on these trees. It's about 33 degrees outside. Behind me there is a freight trailer that is normally going down the highway, but this one's a little bit different. Students at SOI actually turned it into an agricultural farm. Let's go take a look.
Well, the Freight Farm is an indoor hydroponic growing facility, which was formerly a shipping container. And they went in and put in the plumbing. The Freight Farm company did out of Boston, and put in the plumbing and electrical and converted it to a hydroponic growing facility.
While it may seem unconventional, actually on a scientific level it is totally conventional. All you need is water, UV rays, and pH levels.
They use hydroponics to grow the plants. So we have rows of plants growing on the walls, and they get their photosynthesis light from the lights that we have in here. And then they get their water from the foam. The water drips down into the foam, and it's like they're living in a real environment, but it's all inside.
We have a pH down solution. That way, if the pH in the water gets too high, then we can bring it down. Then we also have a macronutrient solution and a micronutrient solution. And all three of those are programmed in order for them to automatically be added to the water in the right proportions when all goes well.
While the ecosystem of the Freight Farm might seem complicated, technology has made it easier. Tree can easily use an app to control the Freight Farm from almost anywhere.
It has a microchip computer that you put in all of your ranges and what you want, and all of that has to be calibrated. But then yes, you can adjust it on your phone.
SOI students could be working on agriculture ecosystems of the future. With weather change and patterns becoming unpredictable, agriculture is going to be affected. That's why these students are working on this experimental agricultural project.
The Freight Farm is a growing hydroponic environment in which climate is not an issue. It could be used in areas of the world where they are not hospitable to plant growth, or if our climate change continues, then it would provide an environment for us to be able to grow food where it may become difficult for us to grow food. And so here at SOI, students train on how to work in the freight farm, why things work in the freight farm, and to be able to make that environment produce a product.
I certainly didn't know that the freight farm could be such a simple solution to our agriculture problems, although it may seem very complex and futuristic.
It is so crazy to imagine that this could be the future of the food that will be in our own stores.
Our school has started off so small and has grown so drastically that there will be so many new advancements with the growing number of grades and school size.
This new building is going to allow for so many new opportunities for students next year and for many years to come.
What all will this building include?
I'm not sure, but I'm so excited to find out and see what's to come. Let's take a look at what's in store for us next year.
On January 30th, students from Phoenix News Team were given the amazing opportunity to tour the news section of Don Tyson School of Innovation. The project will be adding around 142,000 square feet to the school. All DTSOI students are buzzing about the new addition to the Education Center, including Principal Kelly Bortz, who expressed her excitement about the new wing.
I'm most excited about the amazing programs that we will be bringing to Springdale students that are currently at DTSOI.
As of right now, the capacity for our current building is capped at 1,200 students. This expansion will allow for more students to enroll in the upcoming years.
So capacity will be, I think, 2,200, but we're not jumping from 1,200 students to 2,200 next year.
Cameron McKay, Senior Project Manager for Baldwin & Shell, weighed in on his thoughts about the new wing and Performing Arts Center.
I think it's a very good extension of what was built in Phase 1, adding more classroom space for more students to come in and enjoy the program that you guys are currently going through. This is my first Performing Arts Center I've done in my professional career in construction, but just the sheer size of it and the amount of students that'll fit in there and the finishes that are going in, I think we're all excited to see that.
The new wing also allows SOI to expand its vision of innovation and introduce new and unique programs, such as culinary arts.
I'm really excited about it. I think that it's really cool that they're adding all these extra classes and giving the students the choice to take these classes, like the culinary classes, and it's just amazing.
To be able to increase the number of students who can be involved in some of our existing programs. For example, AV technology, right now we have a small space set up in a zone, and our students do amazing things without having a true facility to do that. So you think about giving them a true studio, a control room, and how that allows them to just do anything that they can dream of.
We are extremely excited, very grateful that we're going to have our own section in the new wing of the building. AV Tech right now has currently been operating efficiently with what we have, but we are on a very limited space and where we are at right now.
We started the first phase of construction, which would be our earthwork and our utilities, back in October of 2018. And we're currently sitting in January of 2020. So the project was scheduled to be roughly about 26 months in duration.
That should put the completion of Phase 2 around November or December of 2020. Stay tuned for more updates on the progress of the new wing. This is Diana Barbosa, signing off for Phoenix News.
Wow, that really blew me away.
Next year is going to be our year.
It's now time for our favorite part of the show, the influential teacher.
Let's roll back the red curtain and see who was nominated for this month's influential teacher.
I think the class I look forward going to the most is physics class with Miss Nichols, because it's such a warm and inviting place. She's so caring and passionate about what she does, and that basically just radiates off of her all the time. You never see her having a bad time in class.
I started working at SOI 3 years ago, so this is my 3rd year. I've never taught anywhere else. I was in college and I was a teaching assistant, and I had the realization one day that my favorite part of my week was going to my job and talking to people about science. And that's when I knew I wanted to be a teacher.
She cares so much about her students and her job so much. She always tries to make her class feel fun despite it being physics, which involves a lot of math. And she always teaches things in a very fun way. So you're never going to get bored. You're always enjoying what's being taught, even if it's like a boring concept.
I think it is because of how I run my classroom a little bit. I think it is because people feel comfortable and safe. I feel like that they know that it's okay to make jokes every once in a while, and I think that they know that it's okay.
If a chemistry and a biology teacher go to a bar, where do they sit?
I don't know where to
The periodic table.
That was incredible.
It sure was. If you guys want to see your favorite teacher next month, please contact Mr. Pasquinzo with your submissions.
Now that's all we have for this month's Phoenix News.
Come back next month for more awesome stories.